Earth Day is coming, and just in time, we received some good news recently about honeybees, and we can thank the free market for that good news. For years, politicians and activists have claimed that honeybees are dying and on the verge of extinction. Environmental groups pointed the finger at pesticides, demanding the legislature ban their use by farmers and orchardists. But the data show that none of that is true. What people hear is that about 40% of honeybee hives die each year. That is true. But at the same time, the number of honeybee hives is increasing. So how can both of those things be true? Each year, some honeybee colonies die, usually in the winter. Sometimes there are enough bees to huddle to stay warm. Other times they run out of honey to eat during the winter and starve. It used to be that about 15 to 20% of hives died each year. Now this number can be as high as 50% a year. Why? Well, the culprit isn't pesticides, but a small parasite called the varroa mite. Varroa mites, which have the scientific name Varroa destructor, attach themselves to honeybees and shorten their life. Soon, too many bees die and the hive collapses. The varroa mite is the primary cause of the increase in hive deaths, but it isn't the only cause. Every year, beekeepers are surveyed to find out what killed their bees. The top answer is varroa mites, but other top issues are bad weather, starvation, or having a queen die. Pesticides are generally behind these other explanations. Additionally, commercial beekeepers often have the lowest rate of hive mortality, even though their bees are exposed to the most pesticides. But with such high mortality rates, why is the number of hives increasing? One reason for the good numbers is that beekeepers and the orchardists who pay them have market incentives to make sure that there are enough honeybees to pollinate crops like almonds and apples. For every hive that dies, beekeepers replace them with new ones. Each year, beekeepers can split hives, turning one hive into two by letting the bees create a new queen and a new colony. So while beekeepers, like me, don't like it when our hives die, we also know how to replace them. As a result, the number of honeybee hives is still increasing even as more hives die. Beekeepers are also finding new ways to prevent their hives from dying. Washington State University does great research finding new treatments to kill varroa mites and save bees. Now, this doesn't mean there are no problems. Populations of many wild bees are declining as they lose habitat. But instead of worrying about honeybees, we should find ways to create more habitat for bumblebees and other insects that play important parts in ecosystems. But this Earth Day, we can celebrate that the efforts of beekeepers and orchardists are paying off, literally and figuratively, by increasing honeybee populations.